Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. They are demarcated by boundaries, natural and administrative, and within these premises, they are led by a system of governance known as democratic and republic. And we have a system of government in which elected members, they are working very much for sharing of the resources, producing of the resources, maintenance and augmentation of the same resources for the well-being and equality of the members of the society, to bridge between the divide of knowledge and ignorance, the bridge between paucity and prosperity, the bridge between hopelessness and opportunities is engaged by the system known as governance. And the government is not wholly responsible for everything. The real responsibility lies in the fate or the decision-making discretion of the concerned valuable members of the society who form to create a consensus of proper enthronement, dethronement and rethronement of the agencies of ruling. This type of citizenship and its responsibility, even though it is not equally scattered with all the members of the social community, being led by people. For example, there is an engine which leads innumerable compartments, and a pair of drivers or pilots leading an aircraft. Like that, the social engineering or national engineering is handled by a group of what we call galaxy of stars who are leading in social concern and responsibility, and everybody is just like a flock of sheep following them. And whenever we consider about our own responsibilities, what we call effective demography or efficacious assessment of the national strength, we are having three types of people in this society. One who is an asset, second one who is a curse or burden to the society, and third who is neutral, who is self-living, who does not serve anything for the society as well as demand anything from it. So neutral members, they form the peripheral portion. And assets are very few in number. Most of the people are assets to Silicon Valley for the development of multinational agencies and various other foreign countries. Those who are realistic assets, those who submit and surrender the nationality. You should understand that like parental care and parental concern, the national concern and care cannot be so. People may be angry with the parents for their lenience, over rigidity, indulgence or lack of proper care and direction that they refused, that they neglected to give at the time of the childhood, boyhood and studenthood. We can be angry because they are having proper vision, biological bondage, proximity, vigilance and perennial way of bondage. Whereas for a nation, as it is tamed by different rule of constitutional prosecution by cyclic ruling of different people of different nature, we cannot blame the nation. When there is parental neglect, when there is any parental curse whereby the parents could not provide anything that is essential for your physical, psychological, intellectual, professional and establishment growth in the society, you can blame. And even those who are logically loyal in nature, for the only reason that they have given birth to us, we should surrender to the parents and see that they are comfortably made, which is a noble revenge which they have forgotten to do. We are doing all that we are adding in more sensible loyalty. It is known as noble revenge. So parental thing, even if there is a carelessness, you cannot question if you are noble son. And the national care is what you create. Parental care is what they provide, whereas the national concern is what you provide to the nation and get it back. Just as there is an agricultural land which has fertile sand, by means of growing cultivation of seeds, as well as manuring, fencing, irrigation and various other measures and methodologies, you should see that the land's munificence or its benevolence is going to fructify your desires and expectations. So, if you have a vehicle, the vehicle will help you only if you help it to help you. If you have a land, unless you make the land to be horrible and horrific so that it can help you, it is a way of initial starter of your contribution to make a constitutional decision by which you are engaged or enabled to get the benefits out of it. So nation is also like that. It is a mechanism, it is a land, it is a machinery, it is a system. Unless the system is cooperatively and collectively produced by all of you, you cannot expect anything from that. You can expect only silence, nihilance, adversity and total rejection and partial development and projection of the unholy agents, unruly elements and non-state reactors of the society indulged in the process of corruption, disruption, erosion and terrorism. This is what we can get. So we should understand, before expecting anything from the nation, as job opportunities, educational provisions, equality, development, everything etc. You can only settle in abroad. You can settle only in two places. One is inside your head or inside your hut. Or other two options are you can settle in heaven or you can settle in heavenly places like US and UK. So these are the options. So first primary duty is create a society, create a nation by your integrated intelligence and implementation, so that the society can accommodate you and do justice. Whenever you talk these things, you should not consider it as politics. It is society. The ruling system of the country is known as politics. But to decide the ruling system in a proper way is a social concern. To be a part of it is your personal concern. To be a part of it is your futuristic concern. So all of these things, they frame a part of what we call knowledge or concern with the society. So whenever you have all of these assets, who are the assets of the society? I have already told those who are contributing something to the development of the nation and fixation of the nation in such a status that it can be contributed towards repatriation. What is the possibility? There are three people. One is patriotics or patriots, and second people they are the youths, and third people are the students. What are the stages? Patriotism is nothing but it deals with the spirit of a person. Youth deals with the energy of a person, energetic ability of a person. And studenthood that deals with a process of inner procession. What is that inner procession? Gaining intellectual resources and preparatory exercise to use the energy in a proper way. So patriotism, youth and student both are interlinked. That's a triad. So youth is, I used to explain that youth is a person's inner and external ability to work with courage, irrespective of the age. So age is the primary factor for youth, second is resources, third is ability to execute the resources with honesty, with courage, without hiding anything. So when you consider age alone, that will be limited youth. When you consider everything, you can see a large number of harmful youth, unused or unexplored or undiverted or untargeted towards the development of the nation. So we want three forces as assets of the nation. Youth deals with your ability. Studenthood deals with your preparation, and patriotism deals with the spirit by which you do that. So each and everybody, whether they are campus inculcated youth or syllabus oriented students or they are patriots with political parties, each and every member of this nation or any nation, any developing nation should have certainly been an abode of people, those who are complemented with these three triads. These qualities, unless found in people, they would not have been created social renaissance, economic upliftment, social integrity, political or regional stability and stability in countries. So we should understand that we have studenthood. What is studenthood? To know more about the nations, to know more about the problems, to design alternative solutions and personalized and customized environmental solutions for all of these things that frame studenthood. It is a willingness to know. It is the preparation to equip oneself with more knowledge. It is also to design customized environmental solutions to have the zeal to implement the same. That is studenthood. Youth is always being healthy internally, ethically, morally, spiritually to face the circumstances. Patriotism is to attribute each and every unit of his development towards the welfare of the nation. What is patriotism? Patriotism is of three types. One is supply, second is service, third is sacrifice. Being minimal to his own self and dealing for the welfare of the nation is known as service. To have self-enrichment and also a partial contribution to the welfare of the nation is known as supply. And to lose everything for the welfare of the nation is sacrifice. Sacrifice can be done only by masculine people. Those who are semi-masculine, those who are imbecile and impotent agents, those who are feminine in the sense of self-enrichment or self-centrism, those people cannot go for a cosmocentric, ecocentric and anthropocentric widened way of personal contribution. So at least even if we are not capable of doing the sacrifice, we should deal in such a manner that at least we can do supply a part of it or service with the minimal requirements that country needs from us. So first of all, to create a mood, campus psychology and campus engineering, what is that? Campus psychology is an art by which each and everybody is empowered for the welfare of a nation, for his fellow beings. First, he has to get satisfaction for himself. Second, he has to bring pride to the institution. Third, he has to bring pleasure and appreciation and solace to the family members who have educated me. Fourth, he has to bring transformation and development and progress to the faculty that you have selected. Fifth, you have to bring some sort of honor to your friends, well-wishers and associates for collective well-being. Sixth, you have to create an indelible mark or footprint in the welfare of the nation that you have done something in the historical development of contemporary and futuristic view of national progress. So these are the 6 major responsibilities. What is campus psychology? People may be playful, they may be mischievous, they may be diverted, they may be aberrant, they may be disturbed, they may be pernicious, irrespective of the psychological status that has been reflected in each and everybody's mental realm, that is nothing but a collection of the various exposures, experiences and pastimes of their domestic, social and pre-academic environments in which they have been molded. They are not being born here, they were born somewhere in the hospitals, then brought to the home, then brought up in a social environment, carried by the parents or uncared by the parents. Parents are all beautiful, they are having bilateral income, both of them are going to jobs. So more time limitation has been brought in the modern society. People are more there with gadgets like TV, with the friends, with the sports and with the media, which is a very dangerous weapon both for enlightenment also for extinguishment. So these environments promote a person, and these people are brought here for a limited exposure. How we can transform, how we can influence it. So what is campus psychology? Campus psychology is whenever a person is there, it is a common binding instinct. Whenever somebody is traveling inside a particular vehicle, you say a van, everybody will be singing, dancing or hearing something with Bluetooth, they will be doing some technical mischiefs, or they may be doing some other activities like taking rest or sleeping or discussing with the neighbors, everything. When the same vehicle is about to drown somewhere else or about to fall from a bridge, everybody will have the same intention. What is that? To save themselves or if possible to save others. This is known as common binding instinct, which is known as CBI. So we have to bring CBI here for a positive investigation. This is not that CBI. Campus psychology that deals with each and everybody's multifarious plethora of thoughts, inhibitions and dealings as well as immersions. That is there outside the campus, before entering to the campus and after entering the other outside world from the campus, whatever it may be, it should bring everybody to a balance, equilibrium and stability and create seriousness, sincerity and steadfastness inside the mind. That is campus psychology. It should not be brought by compulsion. If you bring by compulsion, the people may overrule it and they will avoid attending classes. If you bring it by advisors, they will sleep in the classes, you know that. And the best way is to create the ambience inside, to create naturally a psychological atmosphere, which I am going to hint you today, by which naturally each and everybody will be converted, transformed or metamorphosed to the level of making themselves alert to the their social concern or the reality that they are going to see in the society. What is campus engineering? The process by which the campus is made for well-equipping patients, those who are admitted here for knowledge treatment, to get more resources, to store more resources, to get also the application technology, to get also the affectionate technology. There are 3 technologies. One is acquisition technology, books and teachers are there. Applied technology, training is there, work is there, experience, apprenticeship is there. Third is affectionate technology, that is sleeping inside the spirit. Academic engineering or campus engineering is to bring out, to kindle, to instigate, to recreate or vivify the inner spirit of having a broader and wider culture. So what we want to hear mention about campus psychology is to bring the mind to a control by means of a casual, circumstantially provoked, non-compulsory system of teaching and training. And campus engineering is nothing but the methodologies by which the people are set up at proper balance. And you know that what is a campus? There I delivered now, there is a big subject or there is a big tail of the topic that has been given now, campus psychology engineering. There was a lecture on campus. What is campus? What is the difference between camp, campaign and campus? How they are linked together? There was a big subject and I have to give a small introduction before going there. I did not elucidate it. What is campus? Campus deals with a premises. It deals with a zone. So a zonal designation is known as a campus. What are the parameters of a campus? What are the peripherals of a campus? What are the components of a campus? What constituents make the campus to be full-fledged or to be effective in nature? There are 3 things. One is the ambience, second is administration, third is sanctity. You know that there are a lot of premises like campus. Temple campus is there. Starting from the compound, there is sanctum sanctorum. So a temple campus is there. There is an administration. There is a rule and regulation. There is a type of sanctity to be administered with rules and regulations. It is there. And second, you are seeing ritualistic areas. Whenever you are doing rituals, the ritualistic domain, if you have experience in Somayaga and other things, it will have its own premises, boundaries. You cannot do anything within the boundaries which are prohibited. Nobody can enter inside. Nobody can do some other jobs which are heterogenetic in nature, polygenetic in nature, that are different, drastically diverted. You cannot do any other activities at all unless it forms a supplementary for doing the same activities in the form of recreation or recreation. It is there. The third thing is, whenever there is a nuclear power station, it is also a zone. They are maintaining distance, they are maintaining proximity, they are maintaining secret, they are maintaining a lot of other things. So something that is privatized as well as publicized. It is privatized publicization, where everything is accessed to the public in means of a private confinement, so that they can get more concentration, more focusing, more dealing and introspection with the concepts along with the receiver. So it is known as ambience, administration and sanctity, which are all the three major factors of a campus. What is ambience? The natural ambience is very much defined pertaining to the thing. For example, the ambience for music is different from dance. Music and dance is different from paintings. Each and everybody or each and every faculty has some sort of thing. It is known as faculty or disciplinary compatibility. There are three things. It should be suitable to the faculty. It should be an additive to the faculty. It should be a promoter of the faculty thinkings whenever you see that. So naturally, an ambience according to education, it is actually different. It should be knowledge ambience. What is the work of these ambience? How they can impart some set of additives inside your mind? First, it creates a mood. Whenever you go inside a temple, even though God is inside and the world is the temple of God, but unless it is fixed as a campus, you cannot get a mood at all. So it gives you mood, it gives you involvement, it gives you oneness, it gives you withdrawal from all other things, it gives you that realistic view of seeing things, it gives you the great purpose of wholesome extraction of the inner vision and best from you. These are all the 6 benefits of ambience. First is you are getting the mood, second is getting the involvement, third thing is you are feeling oneness. If you are in that ambience, you are not feeling that you are a different person at all. Withdrawal, totally you are withdrawing from all the other outside unconnected worlds. Fifth thing is realistic view. Whenever you see the ambience of knowledge, wherever you see the realistic view of ambience. Wherever you are listening to classes or seeing the books, you are always thinking that you are doing something which is imaginary. Whenever there is an ambience, you are feeling that you are living with it or you are the life of it, and that is the life of you. That is not realistic view. And whenever there is an ambience, if your normal productivity is 10 units, if there is ambience, it can give the best inside you to come out and to work out. 10 can become 20, 20 can become 30. So this is the work of ambience. And this ambience, you know that whenever you call it as ambience in educational campus, there are different types of ambience. Where you learn, where you practice, where you see and where you live. Where you see is known as scenery, where you live is known as greenery, where you read and learn is known as library, where you do is laboratory. All of these things are parts and parcels of what we call ambience. And moreover, 3 major things are there for ambience. Whenever you want to feel real ambience, there should be 3 major factors. One is space, second is air or ventilation, third is light. It is also ambience. And there are 3 methodologies of presenting ambience. One is aesthetic ambience, in which art, culture, drawings and other things are there. Second is richness. Richness means granite, then marble, that woodworks, everything is rich. Technically, you are having web facilities, you are having connectivity, teleconferencing facilities, buzzer facilities, electronic manufacturing facilities, mutual communication devices, all these provisions for personal, academic, teaching, learning and cooperative exercises which are mentioned in the form of technical gadgets, that also gives more comfort to the people. So we get 3 things by ambience. What is that? One is pride. So in a very ambient place, you feel personally proud to enter inside. If that is not there, it makes you to avoid attendance. It makes you to sleep inside the classroom. It also makes you to take other people thinking that you are saving them from punishment. So these things are to be avoided only by an ambient presentation by which you feel the pride. Second is pleasure. When we were having a lot of these classes like practicals in chemistry, we used to avoid the classes. We means, does not mean, few people used to avoid the classes. There came one chemistry teacher who narrated the chemistry in such a manner so that we felt that we are seeing Ben-Hur movie or 10 Commandments. It was so artistic, it was so aesthetic, it was so pictorial, it was so imaginary and visualizable that even in spite of having dysentery or headache, people used to cut off other classes and specially attend with auto rickshaws to attend the class. So it is something very great. So ambience, we should give pressure. Ambience is there in two elements. One is the lively elements, second is the unlively elements. If lively elements, the teacher, they are not create ambience, if they are not able to expose their ambience, they have to very much compensate by means of non-lively ambience to material objects. So there are two possibilities. One is to enrich the ambience presentability of masters if it is not immediately possible or if it is totally impossible. The only immediately possible way is to enrich materialistic ambience inside the place where a limited proportion of ambience given to the teachers are more than enough. It is known as campus. Campus has basic ambience. And second thing is administration. There are four administration. One is financial administration, which we are not going to discuss at all. Second is academic administration by teachers and staff. Third thing is developmental administration. It should not be stagnant. The methodology of teaching, the presentation of teaching, the technical facilities of the college, as well as upgradation with other colleges, other syllabus and other promotable institutions, as well as the other growing or developed countries. There should be gradual comparative study as well as enrichment of our status. There should be always a progressive growth. It is known as developmental study. If somebody says that the classroom or the system is the same as it was before 2 or 3 decades, that will not create antiquity, that will create only deficiency. So there are two things. One which should not change at all, that is known as perennialism or permanent, that is known as antiquity. The process of reciprocalism now experienced is that which should not change, that has changed, and that which is subjected to frequent change and updatation, that remains ever same. So this reciprocalism should be moved only by proper administration. A sturdy administration, a decisive, determined, committed administration should be taken care. And apart from that, there is also technical administration exclusively to do with the technicalities like electronics, like mechanics, automation, robotics, cybernetics and various other growing supporting devices for education, because it is e-learning, it is distant learning, EduSat, promotive learning is there, teleconferencing devices are there, then web journals are there, webinars are there, like via library we are going to develop Webrary, which is web library. Now we are finding new words now. So these possibilities are to be managed by a separate person, and any administrative person will consider it as an investment or expenditure. He cannot understand the technical impact in models to students so that they can be more attractive, they can be more productive. Cannot be understood by those people, those who are administered before few decades. They cannot understand the changes. They cannot understand the requirements of changes that are to be implemented. They will consider it as a wasteful expenditure. So there should be different committees for administration. So administration deals with selection for one. What is selection? What I have to do? I am having a space. I am having a space inside my mind to serve the society. How I can utilize that? That is known as selection. Second thing is enrollment and appointment. Faculties are made by appointment and the students are made by enrollment. Third thing is strong decision making. How to make strong decision. Fourth is internal control and collective control of students. Fifth thing is risk and crisis control. How to prevent risks. How from making people to be prevented from attacking or creating risk within each other. How to create a frictionlessness and avoid frictions between various hierarchy of administration here. How to prevent these people affecting somebody and other people getting inside. It is known as risk and crisis control. It is very much famous for campus psychology as well as engineering. You should understand everything before it comes by your previous experience or external exposure. That is known as campus psychology. We should create such environments where we can reinforce the situation and create the fortification by which we can prevent everything. That is known as campus engineering. So psychology and engineering is there. And later on affiliation, how to connect ourselves with great institution. Regulation, how we can adapt ourselves to moving and growing circumstances. Submission, totally shedding out our ego. We have to harness the potentialities and retain the potentialities. What is submission? Not only domination is administration. Whenever great people are there, behaving in a very, very humiliated mode as well as a very, very submissive mode, and to maintain and retain relations because they are the assets of our education institution. That is known as submission. Administration has two dimensions. One is domination, second is submission. Whenever somebody is going against us, whenever somebody is going to be very much harmful or injurious to the inner health as well as the repute of the institution, we should show domination. Whenever there are a lot of people, talented people, potential people, those who are the precious assets of our institution, you should be as submissive as possible and you should not lose that asset at all, whether it is a student or a staff or anything. So proper administration is showing domination to those elements, those who deserve that, and showing submission to those people, those who deserve that. That is known as administration. Third thing is sanctity. And we have just lightened the lamp, we have placed the garland, we are all standing up and we are reciting some stotras, some slogans, and we are also making some recitations. Ritualizations are there, daily worship, prayer is there, inner worship is there, external exposure by tilak and other thing. We are showing that we are sanctified or we believe in the system of sanctification. But really, how to sanctify? Sanctification is possible only by education as a charity. Somebody asked, what is this sanctity for education institution? Then we told that just as there is fragrance inbuilt for the rose, education is self-sanctified. It is enough or it is sufficient if you don't de-sanctify it by your operations. There is no process that is required for sanctification of education. Why? Because education is pre-sanctified. It has been synthetically proved with sanctity. Somebody asked how we can make education as just charity. Then I told there are few ways. Number one is equivalence. Second is excellence. What is equivalence? If you are receiving some money from the people, if you give equal knowledge to them, if you give equal benefit to them, that is also a charity. Then in business venture, at one business intelligence lecture I told at Mumbai, that in business venture, if you at least deliver the goods worth of the money that you receive by the prompt time, that itself is a very great charity and service to the society. So non-adulteration, prompt delivery and quality assurance itself is a charity in business. Like that, education, whatever we receive, we should give something equally. Second thing is excellence, to give something more than what they expect from you or what they have given to you. That is known as excellence. And third thing is elementary, just you receive something by concession, just for the sake of your existence and sustainability and conduct the show. That is known as elementary reception. Fourth thing is exemption. You do not receive anything at all but serve the society. That is known as exemption. Fifth thing is exceptional model of education institutions, wherein by apart from learning, there is one school at ICFI. In the ICFI school, these people, those who are coming from the rural community, they have been given the art of painting and drawing, and they are making visiting cards, they are designing some postcards, they are making some greeting cards, and before the completion of the education, not only studying freely, while they are just moving out of the campus, they were able to get at least 1/5 of the salary which the teachers are receiving from the management. How far it is? That is exceptional model, wherein by without disturbing the education. Because education needs a diversion. The diversion is of two types. One is positive and negative. Instead of negative diversions, let there be a positive direction. Positive diversion can also be of 5 types. One is rest, second is relaxation, third is innervation, fourth thing is sleep, and fifth thing is reverberation by means of practical and productive work by cottage industries and other things. This was administered in some exceptional schools where they earned instead of getting something from their parents and distributing. Education as a charity is sanctification for such institutions. And second thing, apart from service, number one is service, and number two is progress, number three is accomplishment, number fourth is repute modeling. These are all the various activities which we have to manage. First is service, I have already told. And second thing is to develop dedication and progress in the society. And progress should end in accomplishment. Self-accomplishment should end in repute modeling to the whole society. Just as I used to say, lot of these water bottles and different brands they have come. But in Tamil Nadu, whatever may be the brand of any company, they call it as Bisleri brand. Bisleri water. Also in most part of the world, as Bisleri dominated initially, all mineral water in spite of being named as Aquafine or Kinsley, they are called as Bisleri water. That is known as repute modeling. But that is automatically done. This we must systematically do. And what we have to do, repute modeling, wherever you see a school, they should ask, are you inspired by this school? It is known as repute modeling, it is known as sanctification. And there are three things which are invitation for God. One is worship, second is prayer, and third is orderliness. If you believe in God, you can worship Him. If you don't have the time to work or knowledge to work, you can pray. Just as you are giving your submission. If you don't want both the things, you are not interested, you maintain orderliness inside you, and inside the campus, God will automatically come. Who always reside there, He will manifest Himself. So bringing God inside or invitation to sanctity is nothing but worship, prayer and orderliness. So we have given a basic explanation for this campus. So I am very happy, and I feel also you should be hopefully happy and convinced that even though this campus and ambience and other things were existing before, today it has been enriched more by real way of understanding that you should hopefully believe that there is no other way. And then whenever you deal with campus psychology, what is campus psychology? It is dealing with the friction of anybody's internal. There are two environments. One is the inner environment, second is the required environment. Second clash is between the hierarchical environment of obedience and knowledge transmission. Third is interpersonal environment, the clashes that happens between a person of the same kind. It is homogenetic in nature. So there are 3 clashes in campus psychology. First of all, whenever you are entering inside campus psychology, you have to learn about few things, few complexities. One is complexity of liberty. Everybody says that inside a college there was a very big seminar in which I attended. The topic was whether to maintain punctuality, attendance as well as codification of uniform as a part of the administration or not. People, they used to say that no, we want to be liberal, we want to be like that. You can have only limited control over teaching and other things, examination and all the other things. So this was a very big thing that was debate that was going on as a hard discussion where I delivered a lecture. So the first is liberty. What is liberty? According to Shastras, what is liberty? Surrender to an able and concerning person is liberty. Liberty is not total independence. Liberty is, what is liberty and what is chaining? Chaining is being encompassed by a non-healthy, unruly, painstaking or harm-producing element, that is what we call chain, entanglement, clutch, all of these things are there. Liberty is not absolute liberty. Can you be free from oxygen, from respiration? Can you be free from food and water? So liberty means you should be free from elements which are degrading you. If it is dependence which is very much despicable or very much vulnerable and condemnable, that is dependent on elements which are going to degrade you. So there are 2 things. One is rejoiceable dependence, second is insecure independence. What do you want? So insecure independence is there whereby a child, if it goes somewhere else, it will be robbed, it will be killed, it may be accidentalized. So anybody's liberty should be understood. If you want to be really liberal, you should have been encompassed to the compassionate embrace of a surrounding where you can be molded for independence. So liberty is of 3 types. One is being dependent, learn about independence and take care of your dependence. This is the first rule. Second thing is to be permanently under the guidance and embrace of those who are carrying you with 3 things. They know how to care, they are willingly caring for you, they have the potential to take care. So somebody with the potentiality or any element with the willingness and also the possibility, that should be surrender and that should be shelter. Until you have your last breath, you should have that surrender at all, that companionship. So liberty is nothing but ethical companionship, productive companionship and fraternity of harmless, useful and development resources is known as liberty. So first of all, there should be a seminar or there should be a descriptive ideological presentation in a PowerPoint presentation or documentary to the students about what we call liberty. Second is maturity. All the people, they think that they are mature and they don't want any advice at all. What we are going to teach them, yesterday I told, anybody has knowledge. The problem is courage. Everybody knows that it is not good to do like these things. But why they are not doing, because of the courage problem. So maturity is not only knowledge. Knowledge wise they are maturity. They know more than what you know. But still in the courage they are immature. And how to discuss with the maturity and a fraternal relation of advice, suggestion and transformation can be made. It is a different subject to be taught. And also in relation, there is a very great research made by us in campus relation, interpersonal relation. There are 5 modules which are studied. Either the people they are maintaining distances. No, I don't want to move that person. That is known as distance. Then second is ego. Third thing is envy. And the fourth thing is ridicule, whereby they make fun and entertainment. The fifth thing is wonderful. It is known as groupism. It is unholy and unruly groupism. So these are the 5 impacts of the interpersonal relations that are existing here. And this type of psychology, you know that you cannot directly teach them as advice or you cannot admonish these people, but for which I am going to just explain few methodologies in the engineering section how to do it. Apart from that, there are 5 major concerns or issues of college development. First is known as cultural restraint. I gave a lecture on cultural restraint and cultural rigidity as well as liberty or freedom in colleges. It deals with number 1, dress code. For example, if there is a dress code, there is a statement in that lecture also I encoded with the same thing. In a dress code, what do you get? You get impressive impression. What is impressive impression that you can get from these things? Number 1, commitment. Number 2, determination. Third is vigor. Whenever a person is wearing a particular dress, the commitment rate is more. It has been psychologically tested by means of brain wave patterning and neuro-linguistic signal processing methodologies. They have understood by wearing the dress, before wearing the dress, your involvement and your induction is more. Second thing is determination is more, your vigor is more. That's why those who require, for example, lot of people are there, they are not so serious. They are very simple professional people. Or they are not so much concerned professionals who are having some sort of nobility in an organized style. For these people, there is no codification or stipulation of these these type of things like uniforms. Whereas you see doctors, you see military people, you see police people, advocates and judges, and they have been organized nobility to deal with a serious task. They have been given some sort of uniform code. So college also should bring uniform code, but there can be some sort of flexible fixation of some varieties, but they should represent this bigger commitment and determination, sense of purity, sanctity and mobility with social relations and mutual binding with fraternity should be there. There is a special science known as chromatopsychology that deals with your color lighting, color tasting, color pattern recognition and your mind imprinting. If your activities, if your thoughts, everything is there, there is a binding between colors and you. It is known as chromatopsychology. There is also chromometry, which also measures the impact of colors on human actions. There is chromonomy or chromotaxonomy, which deals with the impact of color in each and every processing of human mind. Different styles are there. So psychologically, we can see how it can be worked out. Second thing is behavioral risk, how people behave in co-education schools, mutually schools, rural and urban people, how they will behave, rich and poor people, how they will behave. It is known as behavioral risk in campus psychology. The third thing is residential management. Whenever in residential management, it is very difficult to manage because you have to be vigilant, you have to be rigid as well as caring for people. If you are over rigid, it is also dangerous. If you are non-caring, it is also dangerous. So that should be a reasonable thing for that. Fourth thing is bivalent gadget administration. I delivered a lecture on bivalent gadget administration in campus psychology. It is a separate subject. There are three gadgets which are knowledge giving as well as knowledge eroding, which are constructive but destructive. What are the? First thing is computer or net, second thing is television, third is a mobile phone. And whether to use it or not, how much to use, how we can totally avoid, how we can make the people in residential management. There was a separate seminar which was conducted by us in which we only delivered a lecture, other people they did not deliver the lecture at all for some reasons. So this thing we have to understand how we can prevent and how we can manage all of these things in residential management. There was one college in which a new system was introduced as per our suggestion. It is known as Emergency Message Information Center, EMIC, they have established. So whenever a person is having any emergency message, either by any message or by vocal message or by any SMS or MMS or anything, that can reach a common hub wherein it can be transmitted or informed to the person. Because mobile phones also somewhat important things and emergent things in the family or some other things are also important there. So that transmission communication is also having some positive and emergent usages. So on the basis of our advice, the mobile phones have been totally admonished and abolished in most of the colleges. Growing colleges, they abolished it. They want to either surrender it there or switch off or put it in silence, or they prevent it from being brought to the college itself. There we established one emergency message information center. We established as per our consideration. Fifth thing is very important. This is a special, whatever I am telling today, each and every module is having its own diversion and its own description. So everything is worth, after 1 year or 2 years, if we can conduct a 10 years of workshop taking each and everything as a separate session, we can arrive at the real idea. The fifth thing is known as selective session. What is selective selection or selective session? How to select the people and how to select the selection process. There are two colleges, I don't want to say the name, in Tamil Nadu, where even the chief minister cannot go for admission or recommend anybody for admission. There are two colleges like that. First thing is recommendation abolishment. No recommendation will be entertained at all. Second thing, no donation preference. If you want to construct the library, give the donation, that is different. But your donation will not be entertained as a provision for your easy entry. That is not a provisional entry. So that is the second thing. And the third thing is very much important here. Whenever you admit lot of people here, there was, this is also my suggestion. It is personal details information consumed agency has been made in 1 or 2 colleges. Because if you admit some people without knowing their backgrounds, they may create lot of nuisance. They will be the pandemic diseases of the campus, and after their entry it is very difficult to remove them. Their amputation will result in our amputation or relief or resignment of job. So how to do that? So in one college, we immediately sponsored a program. It is known as Personal Details Culling Out Program. So there was some secret study agencies like detective agencies were invited. The person's previous records, social records, street companionship, person's nature of being playful or mischief or dangerous or corruptive or eruptive, explosive, all of these natures are identified by these people. So like detective agencies, exclusively, just as in marriages, now they are believing more than the parents and astrologers, now they have started believing doctors and investigation agencies. After the marriage is over, what is the use of the detectives influence or intervention? So, in one school you don't believe, because a lot of such incidents happen. I am a counselor, I am called as Swamiji, but I am a lecturer, I am a professor of eminence, I am a professor of distinguished status. I am also a person who is in the technical advisory we established a very great unit which is known as Personal Detail Detection Unit, PDDU. So that PDDU, having incorporation with some detective agents, they personally produce the exact reports of the person, whether he is tameable, trainable, or incorrigible or permissible. This is decided very easily. It should be there. It is not something to be laughed. After 10 years, without this thing, you cannot conduct a college at all, or you can conduct few colleges, not all colleges like that. So selective this thing. Apart from that, there are few things. Number one is conditional entry. Anybody should be having conditional entry. There was one chief minister. While all the ministers are incorporated for the assembly, for the cabinet, and simultaneously at the time of their oath taking ceremony, they will be received with empty signatures on blank papers simultaneously. Like that, there should be conditional entry for people. There should be strong administration network inside, and immediate action should be taken. These are the 6 methodologies which we have given for various other things. And the question may come in your mind, why you are telling to all of us, we are honest, we are happy, we are integrated. It is not like that. There are 3 duties for people. Today we may be happy. We should also consider about the future. Because you know that teachers are chained in such a way that they cannot advise, they cannot act, and they cannot take actions. So it is known as 3A neglection. The first is advice. You cannot advise, they will become hostile. You cannot act. Even if a person who is unruly, the person he was about to fail really without the intervention of a master, but he was not allowed to be failed, thinking that he is a vendetta, and there was a very big commotion in the campus, and the person was prevented from being failed when really he did not appear for the examinations even. How it is possible? So you don't have advising ability, you don't have acting ability, you don't have action taking ability whenever something comes, because there are a lot of student unions. Apart from all of these things, you are having also teacher-student relations also there. That is, I used to say, it is gradually diminishing. It started with worshipping teachers, then reverence for teachers, respect for teachers, friendship with teachers, some kind of neglect towards teacher, distance with teacher, ridiculing teachers, enmity with teachers, attacking teachers. So these are the hierarchy growth or progress that we are seeing in academic industry. You should understand, whenever you are talking about India, you should not talk about 100 students, those who are there in IIT and ISPOR. You should not talk about 10 people who are leading like Mashalkar and Ramakrishna who got the Nobel Prize. You should talk about the millions. Whenever you are seeing 1 or 2 few people, that is not a real medical report of India. That is the exceptional report of India. That is something to be surprised. How in spite of all of this thing they emerge, it is surprisable element. And it is not a happy institution. So we should understand that even if it is not happening today, it may happen later, because of gradually you are seeing politicization by means of various other things like group federations, joint organizations, and various other student movements are there. What they are doing in lot of measures, gradually there is obscenity penetrating inside the colleges. And second thing is politicization, which results in campus violence and campus crime. We are all diluted. We are all destabilized. And there is one more problem in the society, you should learn it, it is very emergent. It is the final tune and nerve and verb of today's lecture. It is known as dynastic systematization. Whenever you are leaving a profession, before you leave the profession, create at least 2 people to equal you and to follow you. Any person, somebody said, he was ruling there before 3 decades, everything was nice, but now there is nothing. Is it a proper way like that? We should leave, that is known as dynastic systematization. Any professor should make at least 2 of the students as probable professors for the prospective future and welfare of the academic engineering. Each and every ruler administrator should see to that. So it creates problem in the society. So we should create a future dynastic orientation in these things. Even if it is not there in your campus today, we should also think about the future. You are also having fire extinguishers inside, even without having any record of any fire injuries or other things, because it is known as futuristic governance, it is known as meticulous governance. So we have to be, everybody is having their life insurance. Why? Everybody is having that. Everybody is having all safety mechanisms. You are not having anything inside, even you are having a lock and key for your house, provided you have anything inside or kept inside lockers or Swiss banks. Why it is so? Because it is safety engineering. So, number one, plan for your future. Second thing, not being healthy is your responsibility. To teach unhealthy institutions and train them and support them for healthiness is your social responsibility. If you prepare a model for campus psychology here in this reputed school, it can be useful for innumerable schools. I have visited a lot of incorrigible schools. Number one is Ahmednagar University, which is the abode of all scoundrels. There is no difference between Al-Qaeda camp and Ahmednagar University. And second is Aligarh Muslim University. Have you heard of that? I have been discussing this several times with Dr. Rahman, who was the Chief Secretary of Jammu Kashmir, as well as the former Vice Chancellor. I have moved in all of risky regions where there is murder, where there is looting, where there is threat, where there is assault, where there is injury, where there is grouping, where there is total devastation of the campus, where there is group attacks. Everything I have heard, I have seen, experienced and discussed with people. So we should create a model, psycho-counseling model of preventing, protection and also putting an end, which is known as extirpation. There are three possibilities. How to prevent it from coming. Second is how to protect it at the time of coming. How to extirpate so that it will not come again. So first concern is your future, it may come. For other people it may come and it has come and it is coming. For them you have to support. Number two. And the third concern is, even if the people are behaving inside very honestly and situationally, extended obedience, they are having arbitrary obedience. What is arbitrary obedience? When somebody was reported to the teacher that he is bad, the teacher was astonished. No, it is not believable at all. You may be mischievous. That was the complaint given by the teacher. So that is arbitrary obedience. So many people, they behave so obediently inside an orbit, which is compensated in a different environment with interest. In these occasions, even if you say something, nobody will believe at all. For this, for extended obedience from an orbit to the second orbit, you have to do that. So, for your future, for other institutions, for people who are non-violent here, to be non-violent in their families, in the society, in their profession, and even if they are binded with non-violent or violent elements, they behave same and neutral. For total engineering of the student, even outside the campus, we have to take this as a special subject of study. It is our idiotic situation that we have not taken it as a study. We are considering it as a campus incident. We are considering it as a secular incident and sectional incident. It is not like that. It is a knowledge problem. It is an administrative problem. It should emerge as a syllabus. It should emerge as a different research topic. And coming to the concluding session, I want to say a few points about engineering. How to engineer? The first point is quality, raise and purchase. What is happening in academics? Quality, raise and purchase. What is quality, raise? Unless we have some sophistications. What are they? Number one is rich infrastructure should be there. Second thing, subscriptions and visits of international scholars and reputed scholars. Third thing is international affiliations. There should be brought. And fourth thing is special promotive designing for the welfare of the students apart from the syllabus. Fifth thing is special job-oriented training and project-oriented designing opportunities. Sixth thing is tie up with the HR companies and making the people for eligible for campus selection, discussion, review and enrollment. So these provisions are being made with a huge investment by most of the people, which has created all people to imitate the same. It has created two problems. On seeing these institutes' investment of crores of rupees, all the people, those who are poor, they also have to arduously extend their resources to manage with all of these things. Beyond the resources, number one. Number two, beyond the resources, the student has also to pay the money for the people. They have to also extend. It creates a hierarchy of extraction. Any person, you establish something with crores of rupees, you have to extract from the students. The students going for profession, they have to extract something from their clients. If it is not possible by salary, they will go for bribery. If both the things are not possible, few people they have entered into robbery also. So this type of hierarchy of extraction that comes. Could you see that? So there will be some remedies. What are the reforms? I will say few reforms and complete. Number one is quality teachers. Most of the teachers available here now, just they know how to read the syllabus. Or just to reiterate what is available. No special training is available and special training itself is unspecial. Now we have discussed with some Anna University professors to bring a lot of talented people from Russia for three reasons. One, they are very much committed. They are very much sophisticated. They don't have much diversions here. And the second thing is they can come for the same salary of the professors here. Third facility is they have well equipped with English and the local pronunciation, the slang of Indians, they are very much accommodable also. Before a few decades, Russians, if they speak English, Mikhail Gorbachev, he could not say any other word except hello before a few decades. Because irrespective of all of these things, they were leading, they were ruling the world. Until they have been collapsed by disintegration, by the global lobbying of US and other agencies, US will be the ruling power now, and USSR may be the ruling power if it would not have happened by means of these intelligent disoperations and deoperations done by the agencies. So these we are designing. So quality teachers should be brought. Now the teachers are not having any quality to teach, to transform, or at least to make some sort of fraternal relations or inspiration to create in the mind of students. So they should be given special training, or there should be special teachers, or there should be super special students. Otherwise there is no possibility of getting knowledge transmission. Second thing is simplification. I delivered a lecture on drama and cinema. I asked which is greater, drama and cinema. Anybody can say that cinema is greater because proximity, then wider coverage, you can bring everything in the globe nearby. Whereas in drama it is not possible because it is a small stage. Then I told that a person is by spending millions of rupees bringing everything with more huge expenditure. And in a drama, by his description, by his speech and the emotional waves and music, he brings the nature or that magnanimity or that magnificence just by his speech and presentation, by which we can visualize the same thing. Who is greater? So simplification is the richness in the cost of the people, richness in the cost of hyper extraction from the students is nonsensical. We have to create simple institutes which are very much serious, which are very much serene, which are very much salient in their methodologies of teaching. So that should be something. Everybody is having the mania that simple institutes are good for nothing. They should go at any cost by selling themselves or even selling the kidney. They have to go for higher level of institute. They just imagine that they are only the knowledge providing centers. So simplification that should be given to the society, and simplicity along with serenity as well as salience is also available in any part of study should be imparted to parents, to students, and hopefully we should have also the provisions in our school. That is not a simplicity. Third thing is annexure. If you are having a rich center here in this university, in the vacations or after your periods, you can also consider about the brother institutions which are just struggling or upcoming and make them use your intra resources as well as the infrastructure for them also. That is known as annexure philosophy. I told about annexure system to all places. Whenever in a hub of 20 to 30 kilometers, if there is a well-developed institutes with institutional brotherhood, without minding ego and competition between those things, they should come voluntarily for offering their infrastructure and training resources. The place should be made available for these people. The fourth thing is to create a high-tech hub. Government is making everything. They are making parks, they are constructing bars, and they are doing all other unwanted things that are whether necessary for the society or not. Each and every 100 kilometers or 50 kilometers should have a high-tech hub which can be used by any individual, research scholar or any institute. So each and every institute having the infrastructure for 2 to 3 crores can be well saved by a 5 crore worth of a high-tech infrastructure made available for hundreds of institutions where they can share their time and learning. So it is also very much essential. Fifth thing is, as teachers are not inspirational, convert everything into audio-visual. Audio-visual documentaries, whenever there is mechanical engineering, wherever there is some sort of understanding of electronic emission, fusion, transformation, holding, mutuality, bulging, synchronization, all of these things, they can be by graphics or animation be presented to the people. And number two, I have made a very great research and submitted to the people. Public participation should come. Because there are a lot of people conducting colleges and institutions. How they do? Number one, they do by getting loans. So they are getting into burden of paying the interest and settling the loan. Second thing is full drive. They sell all their properties and start a college. How they can think of charity? Even their sons cannot think of charity after few decades. How it is possible? Full drive. And third thing is fees dependence. They have started and running, but their livelihood is nothing but the fees. How they can do charity? Fourth thing is business people, those who are showing for their celebrity, for their social status, etc. Fifth thing is by corpus fund. So I told that there should be public cooperative educational colleges, public participation. All the parents, those who are having children, those who are studying 9th standard or 10th standard or 8th standard in the middle ages, they should celebratively integrate in such a manner that they should sponsor 20,000 rupees at a place near Kakinada. We have identified a college and we have started a trust at Hyderabad and we are going to purchase a college. In which there are 2,000 shareholders. 2,000 shareholders giving 20,000, 10,000, 15,000, anything each. If they are really interested and committed parents, they conglomerate, they federate with the ideology of creating a college. They can create the wanted discipline because their children are there. They can create the proper timing, syllabus enrichment. They can create also the fees designing because they are going to pay the fees. So all these things can be made in public participation. Then government, after seeing 2 or 3 things, then the government will come for subsidies, specialities, special undertaking. Then the government will come. Immediately expecting a government is the most lunatic exercise possible in the world. So we should start with public participation. And the other thing is bilateral governance, where the already existing institutions are there, whether government or private, there should be public participation of 50% or 60% to see the sharing of power as well as the responsibility should be made. If they are also studying here, we can command and demand if there is any misbehavior. So there are a lot of possibilities in administration of character, administration of career and curriculum of the student. Triple C, like triple E, I used to call character, curriculum and career of a person can be administered by that. And the final thing is, we should make edutainment. What is edutainment? Somebody called a word edutainment. Education plus entertainment is known as edutainment. Spiritualism with entertainment is known as spiritainment. Ethical knowledge with entertainment is known as ethitainment. We should create something for ethitainment, and we should see how we can affiliate with NGOs and develop public concern, social concern and national concern for the children. It should be sown the seeds, otherwise these people will be useless or useful only for themselves or useful to somebody who is not contributing to the nation. It is developing of Silicon Valley, making India a sand valley. That's what I told in one computer seminar. This should be made there. And what is entertainment? I want to say few things. There are a lot of things, if ethically implanted by entertainment modes, lot of people they have transformed, lot of people they have been deformed on seeing movies. Lot of the crimes, 6 criminal reports have been made that it is the impact of 3 Idiots film recently. So these 3 idiots has created thousands of idiots in the society, disturbing millions of idiots who are in the wider society. So it has a proper reach, it has a deeper reach, it has a smarter reach, it has a shrewd reach, it has a sharper reach, it has a sweeter dimensional reach of the basic mind of people, so that it is ever remaining as a scar which you cannot create at all. 1,000 times you just maintain medication for teaching the children, very impossible. That's what I told in a terrorism seminar. If you take a person and teach patriotism for 1 year, he will not be a patriot, he will be a parrot, he will fly away. If you send the same person to Al-Qaeda or other people, within 5 days they will convert him to a terrorist and he will shoot against you. So to save your life and also to save others' lives, even 1 year of your exercise will not work. To kill yourself in suiciding as well as to kill others, the timing required is just 6 days, because of not only the nature but the intensity of teaching and programming methods that the terrorists are having. That is not available with the teachers. So teachers should go to the forest and learn from the terrorists and implant the same thing in education environment with other people. So we should understand how to be made. Number 1 is anti-alcoholism, second is drug de-addiction, third thing is non-smoking, fourth is vegetarianism. There are a lot of things which are spread in the northern world as well as the eastern world as well as the western world. Now it is dominating. Everything is only by documentaries. And second thing is how to deal with the nature, water, soil, global warming, air pollution, everything etc. Second thing. In the third dimension, how to make the people understand about education. It is very much interesting here. You have to start, otherwise I will start and show to you within few months. The third thing is how to teach about carelessness, which is there are people in the form of documentary, making some other characters to see. If you point out this person as Joshi, Joshi will be angry. But if you make the Joshi as some Agarwal in a character in a movie, then that will create some sort of characteristic impression and identity and transform the person. So what is carelessness? What is the wrongdoing in strike? What is obedience? What is discipline? And you must understand what is joy. Most of the people are suffering by joy journey. I want to be joyous because I am born as joyous, so I want to be joyous. I am not going to be joyous in my practical life. Anyway, I won't suffer. Let me be joyous here at least. So these are the various justifications given by these people. You should understand there is one idiotic imitation. I have to take a documentary. Somebody should take a movie and idiotic imitation. What is that? Somebody, some friend was there. He was not studying. He was just playing. His friend was also playing. But the friend was so super calibered so that he prepared everything in the examination and he passed. This idiotic imitation, he also played with the person, he got failed. You should understand there are 4 things. One is, any person who is endurant, even in spite of playing, any person can manage himself, is endurant. Any person who knows anything is known as talented. Any person who need not work at all is known as rich. Any person who is well established for several generations is established. So rich people, established people, talented people and endurant people, they will do anything but they will escape. On seeing these 1 or 2 people, hundreds of people are spoiled. Idiotic imitation. So all these people, they are safe. These people, they are drowning inside. So there should be a movie for them. Idiotic imitation should be there, and obedience and respect also should be designed in such a manner that they can understand other things. So joyous journey, what is real joy? What is your purpose? And what is, there are 3 things which I call HMT. What is health? H is for health concern. M is for missing of opportunities. And T is for time murder. The best murder in the world and worst also is time murder. If you murder the time, you cannot get it back. On all of these things, you have to invite a few people. Who are they? Psychotherapists, psychiatrists, physio-psychiatrists, biopsychiatrists, behavioral therapists, behavioral psychiatrists, these people they should be engaged. And they have to write the story, description, dialogue and everything. It should be mixed with spice. This stuff will be mixed with spice. What is spice? Dance, music, nature and love. They are not spicy substances. You mix them and create documentaries and do that. After 10 years, whatever you are ridiculing, whatever you are neglecting, it is going to be the backbone of future education. Then you will think that before 10 years, Chaturvedi rendered the same thing with a very great predictional or prophetic vision. You will say that. So these are the various methods that we have to practice in LC time. And number one, you have to create a campus manual and syllabus for that. Number two, apart from mere syllabus, you have to teach three techniques. One is learning technique, second is earning technique, third is living technique. Third thing is space management or time management, how to make ourselves happy, relaxed, promotive, educatively also supportive. All of this thing is time prudence or time censorship. It should be also given by people with time censor. So this is the third thing. And fourth thing is, we have to create various types of clusters of teachers, because the ancient teachers, they were inbuilt with everything. Radiation, boundless knowledge, capability to dominate, everything was there in a single person. Now a group of people, 5 or 6 people, they have to work together to bring the same effect. You have to start at least now. And the final thing is, you are having religious belief. You are talking about Paramatma and everybody else. But religion has inbuilt power. Most of the people, they are having only the peripherals of religion, not the perennials of religion. Because we are having some belief, go to temple and do something without any regular exercises, sincere exercises and honest practices. If you understand the real sense of religion, you can use religion as an integrity device. You can use religion as an empowerment device. You can use religion as a supportive faculty for proper learning and proper vision. So, a campus should be a center of decent politics, decent religion and decent altruism, which concerns about your yesterday, today and tomorrow. I hope that this institution, which is very much applauded that as a pioneer, as well established and being well run institution in this particular environment and arena, it should also take the lead in producing the functional syllabi, the potential syllabi, the transformational syllabus that is essentially necessitated for the development of student community of this area, student community of the future, student community of the whole globe. The more faced challenges of the Western community, they have understood how to enter inside Mars. They have understood how to see a nanoparticle. They have seen what is the genetic code and programming, but they could not do two things. One is, they could not convert their youth from being prisoned. Most of the juvenile prisoners, the rate in youth is more in UK, US, Canada and other places. So they cannot do two things. One is powerful and joyous education. If you get joy from education, you will not go to a bar, you will not go to a theatre, you will not go for any recreation for joy. Because whatever you want, whatever you could not get, whatever that is so transcendental, surpassive and inevitable, that joy is there inside the wisdom. And India can do two things. Total transformation of people from being criminalized and also anti-popularizing the social ambience. The second thing is to give the real juice, sauce and essence of the wisdom, which is going to be the most relishable ambrosia for all time relish, as well as panacea for all problems of the society. India can dominate in two things, and in India also in this Maharashtra, if this institute takes the leadership, I will be the most happy person and blessed person, because after my participation, if something happens, that silent participation and partnership of mine is also seen inside. I will be happy. I wish and bless that God should empower you to have a continued willful companionship. My speeches will not be forgotten by you when I remove this place or when I move myself from your vision. The vision should also move from your minds. I wish and bless that God should empower you, incapacitate you to have continued pursuit and infallible success in translating my vision, mission and my deliberation which I have given today into practical action. I wish once again all of you for your patient hearing, and I will be proud and I will see the harvest of my lecture when I see you fully transformative as well as transformable by other people.